Hey everyone, this is Keith Scott from out in Sydney, Australia. I'm one of the voices of Bullwinkle J. Moose. It's time to watch Relentless and Unstoppable. And so give it up for your main hosts, Douglas Kenny and Andy McPhee.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny and welcome to Relentless and Unstoppable. We have another amazing guest coming on the channel today, so please hit like and subscribe. And after this episode, please stay tuned to the RNU channel for more amazing guests. Let's get this on!
Hey everybody, how you doing? Just a quick little share of why I started Relentless and Unstoppable. It was for one very simple reason, because of Doug Kenny. Nothing to do with me at all, zero. I was just coaching Doug, and he took on the coaching and mentoring, and he made all the changes. He took all the suggestions from his parents as well as my coaching, but it was all about Doug, his breakthrough and his weight loss, his willingness to accept that he is dealing with high functioning autism and other issues, but he's never quit, he's never given up. So we did one interview with him to share his story, and then we decided to start interviewing other people. And Doug has now taken over the whole channel, and he does all the interviews, he runs everything. He's just an amazing young man. So RNU was born from simply what an amazing young man Doug is, and his story needed to be shared.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny from Relentless and Unstoppable, and today we have Toy Burton with us. Hey, how you doing?
I am doing good. How are you?
Doing good. Where are you at the moment?
I am in Boston, Roxbury to be exact.
Is that in Massachusetts, I believe, or?
Yes, that is in Massachusetts.
Nice. What's it like over there?
Oh, the weather is nice. It's not muggy out. I just came from doing a presentation and it felt good. I was like, wow, the air was cool and everyone's out. Yeah, I love it.
Good to hear. So where are you originally from?
From Roxbury. I'm from Boston.
Nice. What was your upbringing like?
So my upbringing, I was raised by my grandmother, me and my 4 siblings in Roxbury. And my mom's from Roxbury. My grandfather was from Roxbury. My kids are from Roxbury. My grandkids live in Roxbury. But yeah, by the time I was 7, my mom bought a house, and then we went and lived with my mom. And she lost the house after 5 years and went back to live with my grandmother. Then she got an apartment, went back to live with her, only for a year, and then went back to my grandmother. And eventually my grandmother moved out, and then my mom moved in. So yeah, so it was a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, cool. What are you doing these days?
So these days, I work, well, I started a nonprofit in 2017 called DeeDee's Cry. The legal name is DeeDee's Cry Suicide Prevention and Family Support. So DeeDee was my sister. She died by suicide when she was 23 in 1986. But I started DeeDee's Cry in 2017 after I noticed organizations that focused on suicide prevention wasn't focusing on Boston's Black and Brown community. So I'm not a social worker or a therapist. I was just someone who was angry that my community was not getting these resources.
Yeah. What resources are you trying to get for mental health?
So we get a lot of calls, like people want to get connected to therapists of color. So one time I received a call from a woman whose daughter at the age of 15 died by suicide 3 years ago. And she was sad and was looking to adopt a puppy. So after being on the phone with her for like 30 minutes and, once she stopped crying, I'm like, so what do you know about adopting a dog? And she goes, nothing. And I'm like, okay, me either. Well, let's figure this out together. So I don't say, DeeDee's Cry, we don't do that. I help whatever the need may be. So one time person called saying they want a divorce, being married is stressing them out. So I connected them with lawyers. Another time somebody called, they was having problems with their job and was looking for someone to do litigation. So I just Googled and find that, and always say, if it doesn't work out, give me a call back and we'll figure something else out, because we just want to help, and help looks different for different people.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, what led to your rough years with your sister's suicide and then your suicide attempt?
So when my sister died, I was 19 years old. When she died, it wasn't her first attempt. But again, I was a teenager, so it's not like people spoke to me about doctor's appointments or the medical stuff that she was going through. I just knew that she attempted. So I was a teen mom. So by the time I was 19, I already had two daughters. One of my daughters was born in 81, the other one in 83. So they were still fairly small. Yeah, 2 and 3 years old. So my life, I'm being a mom, right? So, but at the time when my sister died, I thought she was better. She seemed happy. She had just moved into a new apartment, and she had a 2-year-old son. And then the cops came to our house and, said that she died. I had my attempt probably six years later. And even with my attempt, if you had been with me the night before, I was out with friends. I mean, they would have said, Toy was laughing. She seemed happy. Everything seemed all right. But what my friends and family didn't know, I was hurting inside. So I was a cutter, which back then I didn't even know that was the name till I saw it like on the news years later with, oh, there's an epidemic with cutting. I'm like, oh yeah, I used to do that, which is like just self-affliction, because the physical pain took my mind off the emotional pain that I was going through. And it wasn't until 2019 when I was sharing my story that I realized that I didn't want to die. I just didn't know how to make the pain stop. And I say that because once I did what I did and I felt the effects of what I did, I was able to like crawl on the floor and make it to my neighbor's house to tell them what I did. And they called EMS and the ambulance and got me to the hospital. So that's why I say that I just didn't know how to make the pain stop. And to me, that was the way to make the pain stop.
Does cutter mean you slice your hand or arm?
Yep, just any part of your body. It's just small incisions, and with studies now, like the cutting is superficial, right? It wasn't like I was trying to cut a vein. Like at the time, of course, I didn't know that. I'm just cutting, but through studies, they found that cutting is I'm not going to say good for people, but people who are in the pain, there is a release with doing that.
It's not the healthiest type of way to manage it, though, right?
Yes, but there are studies being done on cutting.
So that was your attempt at suicide, was just cutting?
No, that wasn't the way I attempted.
Oh.
Like I said, cutting was just a form of release. So like I said, once I was cutting, it took away from the pain that I was feeling inside. So even with cutting, so it was just small, tiny incisions. Of course, at the time I wasn't thinking about it, but I just knew just taking a knife and slicing, well, cutting myself or puncturing my skin was better than the pain that I was feeling inside.
Okay. What was your suicide attempt like? Tell us exactly what happened.
So I was out with friends that night, and at the time I was drinking and drugging, which of course is just another form of self-medication. So you're not feeling, for some people, everything I'm saying is not absolute for myself. It was for, so I wouldn't have to deal with the pain that I was feeling inside. So I used to drink and do drugs. And like I said, that night I'm hanging out with friends. The night was over. I went home, like I said, feeling fine, not thinking I'm going home to take my own life. Just once I got home, but mind you, I was a cutter before that. And of course, still inflicting pain after that. But like I said, the thought of taking my life that night was not in my mind. But once I got home, I was just overwhelmed with sadness, and just the inner pain that I didn't want to feel. And it was just really bad that I just went to the bathroom and was like, I'm going to mix all this stuff and Comet and bleach and every type of cleaning product that I had under my sink and made this drink. And I drank it. And like I said, once I started feeling the effect, like I said, I'm on the floor. I couldn't even stand up. I had to like crawl like on my elbows to make it to my neighbor's house to tell them what I have done. And then I was taken to the hospital, where they pumped my stomach. And then I was released from the hospital, no treatment or anything else after. And so I just went back and was doing the same cycle all over again.
Oh, how close were you to dying, if you knew?
I don't know how close I was to dying. Like on a scale from 1 to 10, I know that I couldn't walk. Like I said, I was able to feel the effects of what was happening. And like I said, it was bleach, it was Comet, it was whatever cleaning products. And I keep a lot of cleaning products. Even now, I have like, I'm just a clean freak. I have a lot of cleaning products. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, it was never said to me, oh, if you wouldn't have got here in 20 minutes, we would have lost you. But I always speak of that time because that's the time that I needed medical help to be here.
Gee, that's all we have for Relentless and Unstoppable. So tune into the next episode to hear more amazing stories from amazing guests. This is Keith Scott from Sydney, Australia saying so long, and I'm smarter than the average bear. Gee.